Good morning and welcome to Thursday. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group, and our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. And, of course, we're still waiting to know who the next president of the United States is going to be, and it's going to be a while. The court systems, the legal ramifications, votes that counted, votes that shouldn't have counted, relying on the post office to deliver anything is now, well, let's just say an effort in futility. And I hate to say it. I do. There's a lot of great people that work at the post office. Matter of fact, there's a lot of people at the post office that are customers of this company. But things are definitely a mess and I'm not just talking about gold shipments and things like that, but I'm talking about people and their personal stuff just not showing up. I don't know where it goes, but our lead is telling me she had sent back a package to the cable company. She had moved. You know, when you move, you got to send back your little receiver box and blah, blah, blah. And she did a month and a half ago. She's got her tracking number. The post office can't find it. And she was told that it probably ended up in Atlanta. Of course, Georgia, one of the states where we still don't know who's what, who hasn't what. And the lady from the post office says, once it goes to Atlanta, it never comes back. It's like the black hole of the post office. I wonder if there's any Trump votes sitting in the black hole. But nonetheless, listen, it doesn't matter. And I know it's upsetting to hear it. Right? I get that. You know, if you're out there and you want Donald Trump to be our president, you're upset right now. Right? If you're one of the blue waivers out there, you're upset right now because it didn't work out. Right? There was supposed to be a huge victory, and everybody believes like we do. No, we don't. Matter of fact, half the country doesn't believe what you believe. And I'm here to tell you whether or not Donald Trump wins or Donald Trump loses, or Joe Biden wins, Joe Biden loses. It doesn't matter. Because I'm going to tell you why it doesn't matter. We don't have much time left. The big one is it's coming. You know, they say, it isn't over until it's over. It isn't over until the fat lady sings. Well, let me tell you right now, I may not be a lady, but I'm fat and I'm singing. You know what I'm saying? It's already been written. I really did. I did. I thought we had till 2030. I did. We don't. I mean, we're talking about monopoly money now. We're talking about the central bank allowing the major institutions of this country that have all of our wealth to lie, cheat, and steal. And do it openly. We have advocacy groups coming out and saying, well, wait a minute. The banks don't have this kind of cushion. They shouldn't be buying back their own stocks or paying dividends. Matter of fact, they shouldn't be doing anything. The FDIC miraculously just changes the rules. There's no vote. We didn't go to the polls for that. It didn't matter if we voted for Trump or Biden or none of the above. The rules change. And let's look at the last 20 years. Have the rules changed in our favor? I know a lot of you out there know what I'm talking about. Go to the bank. Tell them you want $10,000 in cash. See what happens. Just see what happens. You're going to love it. Go to the bank and get a cashier's check for $50,000 to buy some gold. See what happens. See what happens. Try to put cash into your grandson's bank account and see what happens. You know, I remember Eric used to do a commercial when I first started here. And he used to say it on the air all the time. We don't care. Third-party checks from Guam, it doesn't matter, right? You know, personal check, cash, third-party checks from Guam. There's no such thing as a third-party check anymore. Can't do that. Can't do that. And they keep tightening the noose because they already know what's coming. It is going to be a haircut like you have never seen before. They've got it all set up. All the rules have been written. Well, I shouldn't say that. They keep making up other ones that I didn't even think about. Like changing the FDIC insurance rules. Hey, yeah, you're insured, wink, wink, nod, nod, but fill out this form in the format that we like, and we'll decide how much of that insurance you really need. When we get back, we're going to talk about digital money. What does it mean? What are the effects? And maybe we'll get to the jobless claims number, which, by the way, weren't very good considering. We'll be right back. 800-951-0592. Gold has broken out, up $55, and that's nothing. It's nothing. Get ready for the day gold's up, not 55, 550. It's coming. It's absolutely coming. Silver's up $1.25. Also, right there at above 25. If silver can get escape velocity here above $25, look out. But the rally's coming. We already know that. But now it's even going to be bigger because it looks like we got a breakout without stimulus. I thought we needed stimulus to get the breakout. We didn't. Apparently, all we needed to do is have people believe Joe Biden's going to be the president. Bam. And now you throw stimulus on top of that. We're going to have new all-time record highs in gold. Just what's going to be. And here's the thing. We'll look back here at, gold's at, 1950? And we'll laugh. When I first started here in 2003, and then the first, I call it my first gold run. Gold went from 300 and change. It got to 700. And I'd get these calls, and everyone would go, I should have bought when it was 250, right? And then gold pulled back. Went from 7, pulled back to like $500, and then bam, right to 1,050. And every day I'd get a call. I should have listened to Eric when the gold was 250. And that went on for years. I don't get those anymore. You know what I get? I wish I listened to Joe when gold was 1,050. Right? Because remember, gold hit 1,900, the old all-time high, in 2011. And then by 2013, gold was down, hit 1,050, the previous all-time high. And it's done nothing but go up ever since. And, of course, now this year it's taken out its all-time high, went to 2,100, went back. We went below. Now we're back above the all-time highs. And I think about $250 gold and $2,000 gold. And it's an 8 times move. It's 800%. And the deficit, we had a $5 trillion budget deficit at $250 gold. We had a Federal Reserve balance sheet of about $700 billion. The euro had just come into existence. The dollar was still 80+% of all the world's reserve currency. The 10-year note was yielding, I don't know, 7-ish%. Right? 7. Not 0.7, 7. And it went up 8 times. 800%. As, you know, and the Dow's up, 3 times? Because Dow's about 10,000. Remember Dow 10,000, the party hats and all that stuff. Gold is crushing the stock market. I don't hear anyone talk about it, though. Right? They always want to pick, let's pick when gold was the highest and then tell you how good we did. And I'm thinking about the new currency that's coming. And if you don't believe that, you're an idiot. I'll just flat out tell you that. And I don't like to insult. I think we've got the smartest listening audience in the world. But you're an absolute idiot. Believe me, it's happening. There's nothing we can do about it. Right? It's just kind of like the election, right? We cast our vote. It's all we could do. I don't know who's going to win. I've got a guess. You're not going to like my guess, but I got one. But when you sit there and you think about what's going to happen, we've got a deficit now that's 27 trillion. It's got to be 30 trillion as soon as they get around to it. A Federal Reserve balance sheet. It's not 700 billion. Right? It's over $7 trillion. The 10-year note doesn't pay you 7% interest. It pays you 0.7. Have you figured it out yet? No? It's coming. And they want to make sure all of that money gets into the bank. Because they already know the pain that's going to be unleashed. It's not because they want it to. This is just fiat money. This is how it works. And it's so funny because people they're so surprised. Most fiat money, it lasts 100, sometimes a lot less than that, but, on average, around 100+ years or so, give or take. And it always ends the same way. See, you go back to when we got the central bank in 1913, and I've already educated you on how that happened. Right? Maybe exactly how we end up with Joe Biden as president. Collusion, secrecy, the wealthiest people in the world conspiring against us. All that's true. It's not conspiracy theory. That's what happened. So we've had a central bank since 1913. So that's 107 years. They took the gold away. In other words, gold was no longer money in 1933. So you're sitting there going, well, wait a minute. It's 67, 20, that's 87 years. Remember what I first said? Fiat money only 100 years is usually like the max. Because what happens is debt. They can't help it. That's why they wanted to be in control. That's how they make their money. See, the United States didn't run budget deficits. I mean, when you think about it, it's 87 years. It's not that long. I mean, it's one generation ago. You know, my mother, God bless her heart, she's 77 years old. And I'm thinking to myself, back when she was a child, we didn't run budget deficits. I mean, the national debt at the height of the Great Depression was like $100 billion total. Matter of fact, we didn't even get to $250 billion of debt until after World War II started. Even after World War II, most people don't even realize. Do you know that the federal government, we ran as many budget surpluses as we did budget deficits from the end of World War II to 1971? Do you know that? I bet you didn't. It's true. Look it up. See, but the the bankers were running into problems. Nobody wanted the dollar anymore. They wanted gold instead. Matter of fact, the citizenry, we couldn't even own gold from 1933 till the 70s. That's how scared of gold they were. Because they knew if anybody figures it out, they're going to be like all the foreign governments and want gold. It's happening again. I'll just say the easiest one, Warren Buffett. He's easy. The guy is, I don't even know, 1,000. I mean, he's old, right? Back when we didn't have debts. And he made all of his money in debt. All of it. The guy's a genius. Don't get me wrong. He made, at one point, he was the richest man in the world. He's still up there. Still in the top 10. But he made all of his money by borrowing other people's money. I mean, that's what he did. And he said, oh, gold, it doesn't pay interest. It's just a pretty rock. He's not wrong. Doesn't pay interest. It's not a debt at all. It's not a promise to pay. Gold doesn't have to worry about earnings. Gold doesn't have to worry about 10K filings or quarterly reports or dividends or any of that other crap. And for most of his life, he's told you how dumb it was to own gold. And now he goes out and buys the largest gold miner in the world. He knows. He knows. They all know. The problem was I thought we had more time. We don't. Whoever wins this election before they are done with their term, there's going to be a financial event like we have never seen. You know, 1933, they closed the banks for a week. And then when they reopened, half the banks didn't reopen. A lot of people don't realize that was the plan. That was the plan. But this time around, see, it's a little different because not a lot of people had stocks back then. Hardly anybody. But now they've got all of our wealth in the debt markets, and they've had to, right? Think about the creation of the 401k. Brilliant. Take the pensions away. Because with a pension, you didn't even have to buy stocks. You don't have to be involved in that. 401k, though, you got to, don't you? You don't have a choice. Then they tell you what an idiot you are if you don't have one. But all of our money is tied up either in our bank accounts, our 401ks, our IRAs, our money markets, our annuities, all in the debt markets. And the little bit that isn't is under attack. Is cash cash is dead. It's dead. I don't know how long we have. I mean, we could see COVID get so bad. I could see them ending cash next year. I could see it. It's so bad and it's so horrible. Oh, that's it. No more cash. Nobody will take it. Could happen. But either way, it's happening. So how's it going to work? Why am I telling you, you better have your goal well before it happens? And the answer is very simple. Once it starts, see, and it's already started, but it's gradual, it's slow. But once it really goes, it's going to be very quick. Very quick. We're going to go from everything seems to be fine. Look at today. Stock market's up. We don't know who the president's going to be, but it appears that it's fine. It's really not, but it appears that way. Right up until it doesn't. We're going to talk about what's going to happen when that occurs. Yes, 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. Here's what's coming. By the way, just real quick, jobless claims 750,000 again. If the yesterday's number was right on the ADP jobs and it was only 350, that's a problem. High jobless claims and we're still creating 1 million jobs or so, it's tolerable. High jobless claims and we're only going to produce 400,000 jobs. That's not a good recipe. Not a good recipe. We'll see tomorrow. We'll have that government number. I'm not optimistic that it's going to be anywhere near 1 million. And by the way, that 750, it's another fake number. We had a record number of emergency claims, which is a separate bucket. So we really technically had claims approaching 1 million again. Just terrible, terrible. And I don't think stimulus is anywhere close. They're not going to make Christmas. Another idiotic move. But hey, part of this gradual decline, like I said, I went over the debts and the 10-year note and all that. Look at food stamps, right? Even before COVID, we still had 40 million people. Now it's going to be, 60 million, something like that. Social Security, broke, right? There's no trust fund. And right now, we're spending more than we're putting in. So it just ends up on the national debt anyway. But when we sit here and we look at what's happening over the course of decades, really, and I go right back to 1971 when we went off the gold standard completely and gold was allowed to freely trade, the middle class in this country has never been the same. Never been the same. More and more people on edge. More and more 20 and 30-somethings living in their parents' basements. Right? I mean, it's crazy. Nobody can buy a house unless mommy and daddy or grandma or grandpa gives them money to do it. Right? These are the little things. These are the little signs. We want, by human instinct, more and more people want more government because they can't make it on their own. Listen, I don't blame the left. I don't blame them. I understand. Financially, they can't make it in America. They can't. How would you like to be a millennial? No thanks. I'll pass. Pass. Yeah, well, trouble, but you can relive your youth. Yeah, no thanks. I don't want to live with my parents. Heck, I haven't lived with my parents since I was 17. But you could do that back then. You can't do that today. Are you kidding me? That's part of the gradual. So here's what's coming next. All of the money that's out there in circulation. Most of it's digital already. But a time is coming very, very soon. I don't think we have 3 years. I think probably in the next couple of years, and again, it could be, really bad COVID could just be the reason to do it. All the cash is going to get turned in, all of it. I don't know what people are going to do with all their change. Remember the change shortage? That really wasn't. But anyway, I digress. All the money's going to go into the banks. If you have too much cash, and you know who you are out there, you're going to be asked to step aside. Fill out a different form. Get different questions from your bank teller. When the bank teller starts asking you questions, what do you need the money for? Are you under duress? Or whatever they're not asking it to be nosy. Well, that may be part of it. But they're asking it because their little computer screen tells them to. Because you've tripped something in the financial system that, hey, I just want to let you know because this guy, you could be a terrorist or a money launderer, I know that, that, let's face it, most 50, 60, 70, 80-year-old old ladies and guys out there, that's what we do. But anyhow, you'll be asked to fill out a different form. And you can tell them how it is that you accumulated all of this money. And my guess is it'll probably be anything over 10 grand. That's just my guess. Could be less. And then they'll make a determination as to what type of a problem that's going to cause you. But once it's all in, then a different thing is going to happen. See, they want you to believe that we can just print money out of thin air forever. It won't cause inflation and this. It won't cause asset bubbles. Dude, we've got huge bubbles here. Stock market's a major. Stock market has never, ever, ever, go back to even the tech bubble, been so overvalued by any metrics. And they it's interest rates and the central bank is blowing up their balance sheet and the federal government, they're blowing up the deficit, so therefore it's okay. And they're not wrong. It is for a little while. Housing, another bubble again. It's one of their favorite bubbles now. Right? The central bank buying down interest rates, got rates at zero. All of it's well and good. Most of us want to forget the housing crash and the financial bubble that burst right after it. But I want you to think about it. One day, your house was worth another $1,000. And it went on, and seemingly every night you woke up and the house fairy sprinkled another $500 or $1,000. Went to bed, another $500, $1,000. Went to bed, $500, $1,000. Then one day you woke up. It wasn't another $500 or $1,000. But you didn't panic. The next day you woke up, still nothing. 5 days later, didn't matter. You couldn't sell your house no matter what price you put on it. Remember that? Oh, you do. I know you do. Didn't matter. Nobody would buy a house to save their life. This is what's going to happen again, but this time it's a little more cruel. See, because last time it was just your house. This time, it's going to be everything. We'll talk about that next. Patriot Radio News Hour. Welcome back, Patriot Radio News Hour. Brooks like, Joe, you're depressing me. Listen, don't be depressed. This isn't meant to be a depressing story. I'm just telling you what's happening. And I'm giving you away so it won't end depressingly. Because we haven't even gotten to the depressing part yet. We're getting real close, though. See, they've got all these rules now put in place. And when the reset happens and the dollar comes to an end, and we're going to end up with a digital dollar, they've got to reset all of the debts because they can't pay. Part of the reason why we need a digital dollar is these debts are not payable. It's an illusion. We kind of all understand it. Right? Are we paying back $30 trillion? Not a chance. Matter of fact, let's face it. By this time next year, what are we going to have? 35? Something crazy? But the myth that we could just spend as much money as we know that's not true. Because why not just, you know what? If that was the case, why don't we just give everybody $10,000 a month? See what happens. But when the reset happens, it will be quick. And they've rewritten the laws now to prevent you from getting access to what you thought was your money. Now, I already told you, it's not yours. If you put it in a bank, it's not yours. If you put it in, invest in your 401k, it is not yours. I mean, let's face it, 401ks, you're partners with the government. I mean, if that's what you are. Right? How does that make you feel? 30% of that money in that 401k is the government's. It's not your money. And this simple answer to why it isn't is the other people can't loan it out if they don't own it. You can't loan out money that's not yours. So when you deposit your money into the bank, it's now the bank owns it, and you're an unsecured creditor to the bank. When you have a 401k, you're an unsecured creditor. When you have an IRA, everywhere, you're an unsecured creditor. And unsecured just means you get paid last. That's all that means. That the bondholders are ahead of you. They have it set up now where you won't be able to sell. See, in the last financial crisis, if you were smart enough, most of us weren't, by the way, but if you were, you could have got on your E-Trade account or your Charles Schwab account, your Robinhood account, and sold all your positions and waited it out in cash. You could have notified your 401k administrator that I'm going to stop contributing to my plan. And I would like to, of course, a lot of 401ks, you only can do it once a year or certain times. But let's just say you could have in theory said, hey, I want to be just in cash, or I want to just be in bonds, as an example, right? Somewhere to try to soften the blow. If you had a self-directed IRA, right, you could have sold it all. Could have. Those laws don't apply anymore. When the change is going to happen, they're going to there's a reason they put them in place, mind you. That whenever they've got two different levers they can pull. Lever number one is you can sell, but I'm going to charge you a penalty. It's not defined what then they can make the penalty anything they want, 10%, 20%, 50%. I don't think they're going to pull that lever because the other one's just easier. You can't sell it all. You're worried about the bank going under. You go to your bank and you're like, I want to withdraw my money. Sorry. No can do. But how would you like $20? Because I can give you that. Right? They can set that. Not only can they prevent you from having access, they can prevent you from closing your account. They can also determine how much money you can get in a day, a week, a month. They can do all of those things, and it's totally legal. The depressing part of this story is all of those things that I just told you, they're all going to crash. But that's what they need to have happen. Everyone gets wiped out together. Right? And we just start over in this new money, this digital dollar. You know, you had 100,000 in Federal Reserve notes. Well, you got 100,000 digital dollars, but the 100,000 digital dollars now only buys $10,000 worth of stuff. That's how it works. And if you have gold, if you have that silver, here's the great part. You'll have the 100,000 of the new money, right? So you'll have, instead of 100,000 digital dollars, you'll have 1 million. Not only buy what 100,000 bought, but still you'll have it. You'll be the winner in this. Listen, I'm setting people up to be winners. You know, and this was why when Eric came back and was on this mission that I'm going to finish for him. Everybody needs an ounce of gold minimum for every year you're alive. That's just what you need. Your wife needs an ounce of gold. Your kids need an ounce of gold. Your grandkids need an ounce of gold. Because that ounce of gold is going to allow you to prosper when the change out happens. I mean, just that simple. You know, we talk about, you know, I'm talking about gold going to new all-time high. Next year it's going to be 3,000. Forget that. So gold, you know, I'll use Eric. Eric says gold's going to be 20 grand. Probably, you know, you guys, have you ever listened to Eric? He said outrageous things, but he was usually right. $800-951-0592. Right now, gold up 54 bucks. 1950. Silver's up $1.25, $25.13. 800-951-0592 is our toll-free number. Let me tell you what I got. I've got $10 Liberties at 1,100. I've got $20 Liberties at 2175. And I got U.S. Silver Eagle rolls at 630. Wow, that changed quick, didn't it? So that's it. Those are your three choices today. I don't have any 5 Liberties. I don't have 5 Indians. I don't have 10 Indians. I don't have 10th ounce. Oh, we got some junk silver too. If you want quarters, dimes, or halves, I have that as well. So $20 gold at 2175, $10 gold at 1,100, rolls of U.S. Silver Eagles at $630 at 800-951-0592. Gold has broken out back to the upside, just like I told you was going to happen. We're going to have a big run between now and the end of the year. We will see new highs in gold. That's my prediction here. I think we're going to see gold jump over 2,000 once this election thing shakes out and we get stimulus. You're going to see gold 2,300, 2,400, but it's not going to stop there. Listen, this thing's already in motion, and it's not early. It's late in the game. I thought we were in the middle of the game. We're not. This is late. It's late in the game. This presidential term, whoever it may be, is going. The carnage will have happened in this term. 800-951-0592. That's not a depressing story. It's not. Brooke thinks it's It's not. Not if you prepare. Not if you're ready. Listen, it's happening. We know it's happening. I mean, look at all the nonsense that we have to do. Right? Look at all the things that they've already done. Right? All the freedoms that they've taken away, all the rules that they put into place, and then the rules that they put in place to protect us, they allow the banks to break those rules. Well, it's fine. Oh, that insurance that was supposed to recapitalize and be able to make good on those FDIC promises, oh, well, that's gone because, well, it didn't work. So let us just change the rules on the FDIC part. That's the worst. That's the cruelest thing I've seen yet. Cruelest thing I've seen yet. About the fact that there's going to be some form of formula to determine how much of your money that's allegedly insured you get to have. And, of course, allowing for the carrot on that as well. Some people can get more. Some people can get more than the $250. You think you're one of those people? I don't think I'm one of those people. 800-951-0592. That's the number to call. U.S. $20 gold pieces, $21.75. Silver Eagles, $6.30. Everybody, take care. God bless. Listen, tomorrow's Friday. We'll get the jobs number. Maybe we'll find out who's won the election. I don't know. Until then, take care. God bless everybody.